Maybe I want to quit my job and start a new business. Maybe I want to start traveling more and not just be confined to going to Disney World or whatever with the children. Maybe I want to spice things up a little bit, a little spicy talk or something, choke me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But now it's looking like choke you.
Choke you?
Where that come?
Where'd that
Like
come from? Right?
who who been choking you? Like why somebody got to be choking me? I just thought. Welcome to another episode of Soul Shift Sessions, where we have deep, transformative conversations to help you transform your mind to transform your life. I am your favorite freedom and financial wellness coach, Coach Sapphire Starr. And of course, I have with me my favorite co host
Kyle.
slash sidekick.
Oh, you adding to it today? Okay.
I'm adding. I can see you as Robin on the motorcycle on the side.
In the little thingy.
I don't know how you feel about being in a little thingy,
I don't
but
know how I feel either.
I I didn't give you a chance to process that. So, what's your name, sir?
I'm gonna try to say my name is Coach Kyle McCloud, but now I'm like Coach Sidekick.
The perfect partner in your transformation and communication journey. You see what I did there? I'm
I
I'm i
did.
I'm gonna pull it all together for you. I'm gonna pull it all together for you.
I did not see that coming. Gang, we've been laughing because we've been off camera
Having a
and
whole podcast
talking.
before the podcast.
We had a whole plan for this podcast today, and we have tossed it out as quickly as the plan was made. The plan went out the window, and I do mean as
Our
quickly as it was made.
our soul. I don't feel like it was complete because yesterday this was the wavelength that we were on.
It was,
And you came on here and
and
you was like,
changed it.
no, we're doing this. I'm like, no, what about this?
Yep. I didn't realize that plan yesterday was official though. I thought it was just like talking in the air. And maybe that's something that I do. Like maybe I have conversations and people are like, this is what we do, but it feels like the conversation is just like a random conversation and not a plan. But like they're expecting that now.
No, because you'll be dropping nuggets. You'll be dropping hardcore gems and be like, oh, it's just whimsically in the wind. I'm
That
just,
is
you
like
know,
that's
that's,
how it is for me. It is whimsically in the wind. The stuff that comes
and
out of
this,
my mouth is whimsically in the wind. Yes.
sir, you be dropping gems. And I'm like, wait a minute now. Let's talk about this. I mean, I know we're both air signs, but I'm like, I got a little Virgo in me. I'm like, can we
Can
can
we
we talk
like
about this a little
package
bit?
this up a little bit?
Package. You're like, wee. No, let's
I'm
you in the
not
sidecar. So
everywhere, right?
right. Like you in the sidecar talk about we and I'm driving, like, wait a minute. Like, let's pull over and talk
Let's
about
talk
this.
about this. But I was enjoying the ride because I'm always the one driving, and you're driving today, and I like, I'm in the little sidecar, just kicking back.
Coach Coach Sidekick. I love it. I
Coach
love it. I love it. So I guess we should tell the people what are we talking about today?
We are talking about relationships and change. Relationships and change.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes. And before we get into the conversation, I would like to say that you are not alone.
because it
This is
feels
a
like
safe space. It does.
it does.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a safe space to share. Please put in the comment section if there's anything that jumps out you during this conversation. If you want to join the tribe, make sure you go to www.soulshiftsessions.com. Join the tribe, join the shenanigans, join the soul shifters.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you want to be a guest, we're always looking for guests to come on the show and join the conversation. Go to www.soulshiftsessions.com.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. Relationships and change. I don't even know how we even started that conversation yesterday, but we're gonna try our best to kind of like bring it to the platform. And
Yes.
I think it started off where, well, I know that we were talking about safety and being safe to have conversations with your significant other. And you know what? When you are like on social media and you hear like these relationship experts and they talk about this, that, and the other, and they talk about like, being able to talk to your significant other and being able to say anything and everything. And I'm at this stage of my life, I'm calling BS
Yeah.
because there are times where, especially as a man, you'll say something because I don't want to say we were coerced into saying what's on our mind, but we are tricked. We are tricked into saying the thing. And then when you say the thing, you're like, I should have said nothing at all.
It's weaponized.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And weaponized in the way where you're made to feel bad about having the feelings, emotions, and thoughts that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, how can people create safe spaces in their relationships to have conversations, not necessarily actions,
Yeah.
but conversations about something I may be feeling,
Yeah.
but I don't want to just hold it in because you're my partner. You're my life partner. I'm supposed to ride or die. Like I'm supposed to be
Yeah.
able to share these things with you. And it be like, the kids now are saying we listen and we don't judge, but there's judging. There's a lot of
A ton of judging. How many times you heard me? I'm listening, but I am judging. All right. Like I am definitely judging. I said that
yeah.
last week about the editing.
Oh, yeah, about the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and so it's like how do people, cuz I'm sure there's many people that's listening to us right now are like suffering in silence, men and women. It's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
want to share." And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be maybe I want to quit my job and start a new business. Maybe I want to start traveling more and not just be confined to going to Disney World or whatever with the children. Maybe I want to spice things up a little bit, a little spicy talk or something, choke me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But now it's looking like choke you.
Choke you.
Where that come?
Where'd that
Like
come from? Right?
who who been choking you? Like why somebody got to be choking me? I just thought it'd be kind of cool to experience. And so, but it's like how like come on now. We get to the altar. I done been married, okay? And we talking about to death do us part forever, forever, ever. You mean
Forever,
to
ever.
tell me I'm supposed to be the same person you met 10, 20, 30 years ago today? Like, that's not fair or realistic.
You said something off camera about I fell in love with this person because they do X. And then you said, well, what if they stop doing X? Then what? And that I think is paramount because it could be as simple as I love the fact that he opens the door for me.
Mm.
And then the one day you don't open the door because maybe you were in your head about something that
So,
is stressing you the hell out and you're not fully present to the moment and you just get out the car, close the door, and you waiting for her to get out. And she's sitting there waiting for you to come open the door. Right.
stewing.
And then when it finally registers that, oh, she's waiting for me to open the door, now you might feel a certain way because it's like, I ain't got time for this nonsense right now because I'm dealing with this shit.
Right. And then there's a lot of things that don't get said too. And I think, and that's basically what we're saying, like relationship communication change, even in those moments of, well, they didn't do this and they didn't do that. there's not that initial conversation about it either. It's just kind of like, it's like somebody's keeping count. They're keeping a
Yep.
tally, like, oh, you
Yep.
didn't take out the trash here, you didn't open my door here.
Yep.
And maybe
Keep
by
it
the
score.
fourth or fifth offense, it's like, oh,
And then it's like boom,
you
boom, you rattling off all these different things. And it's like, what in the hell? Just what just
just
happened?
you drop the spoon. Next thing you know, it's a full blown.
Yeah, let me tell you, there are so many levels to that because even in the handling of that, like I've learned that um some people just need to get it out. Like whatever your transgressions are, they just need to get it out. And it's more about them and less about you.
Yeah.
But if you're on the receiving end of it, it feels like they're
A personal attack.
that's how it feels. It may not be that, but that's how it
Yeah.
feels. And so what are you supposed to do? Like, are you supposed to just take it because this is more about them? Or do you actually say, hey, this feels like I'm being attacked here because I'm not like I you voice what your issue is, and I'm willing to do something about that, and I feel like that should be the end of the conversation.
Right.
But it ain't.
It's,
It's not. Because they need
oh,
to get it all out.
out. Yeah. And sometimes it feels like they're projecting, or it's like now you're being waterboarded. Like, and is like you said, it's so many dynamics there, because like, okay, they need to get it out, but I'm on the other end feeling them getting it out.
Because it's about
Now I
me.
feel some kind of way because it's about me. Now I'm taking it personally, and I may have checked out mid conversation. Like, you, who are you talking to?
And
Like,
then what if this conversation is not happening verbally?
oh gosh.
Like, what if it's happening via text message? This is why, like, I have started saying, like, look, if we're going to have a tough conversation, let's not do it over text, because I'm imagining how you sound, and how you sound in reality may not even be
What
angry,
you're hearing.
upset, or whatever. It may just be like I'm just getting it out, so that way I've gotten it out. But I may not have these type of accusatory tone with it. However, if you're on the receiving end of that, you are hearing this person
Yeah.
talking through those words, and you're hearing it in a way that is not good.
Yeah, I feel like the bottom line of what we're talking about today is communication,
Yeah.
effective communication,
Yeah.
which involves many things, not just what we like say verbally,
Yeah.
our body language, our mannerisms,
Yep.
our understanding. And I will say, like, I was a classic, or I may still be classic avoider. I don't like conflict.
Yeah.
And so one reason I may not say anything, because I'm like, well, I don't know how the person is going to receive what I'm going to say. And then I make up a whole thing in my head, like, oh, what if they reject what I'm saying? Because now I'm being vulnerable,
Yeah.
pouring my heart out. And what if they reject what I'm saying? And now I feel even worse than I did before
And
I came in.
feeling like I shouldn't have said nothing at all.
That part, that part. But I had to learn, when we are communicating how we feel and things, is to not attach expectations to the outcome,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you learn about the power of being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because again, it may just be about me. I may just be tripping, but I just need to get it out. How they respond, I can't control that, nor do I need to own it.
Yeah.
I just need to say, okay, because I love this person, I'm trying to understand this person. and I want us to be in peace and harmony for the most part. Because again, when you living with somebody, that's another reason why you may avoid it. Like I sleep next to this person. You
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That. Right.
So you avoid a lot of things, but I've learned to just be like, my feelings are valid, and I feel, and it's also the way we say it.
All right. As you know, I did some work with my cousin who he's the owner of a company called Uncommon Results, and they do work with what back in the day used to work with youth at risk. And he put on these residential programs. That's like a 6-day program that has like not necessarily classroom learning, but more like a setting where they're in a theater style, and he will be the leader, and he's having a conversation with them. And sometimes he's having a conversation with one individual, but everybody else is listening as if they are part of that conversation as well.
Mm,
And I remember, and this is where I got the whole thing in regards of my communication, and such as, there is no should or shouldn't. There's just what is, and I he also had this, I want to say it's a paradigm, but it's probably more a distinction around the word responsibility.
mm,
And if I'm probably going to misquote it, but you'll get it from the essence of it, which is I am responsible for everything that goes right, everything that goes wrong, whether I realize it in the moment or not. I am the
mm,
source of that, right? Like I'm the source of everything that works and everything that doesn't work in my life, whether I realize it in the moment or not. And so when I'm going to have a conversation, really, I want to say those tough conversations, but it could be just period. I want to be responsible, or I am responsible for how I land to you. And so if I'm holding myself responsible for how I land, I'm going to be more considerate about what I say and how I say it, because I'm concerned about how I land. And so I may preface it with, hey, this might make you feel upset, but that's not my intention.
mm.
You
That's
know,
good.
um, and if it does make you upset, I'm that's okay. But that's just know that I'm not being malicious in
Yeah.
causing you to feel that way. But you matter, right? You matter
Mm,
to me. So therefore, like, I want to go ahead and be able to say this. Now, there are some people in our circle that there's just no space for it, because you are being vulnerable, right? There's some people that are in your circle that you want to be vulnerable with, and then when you are vulnerable and they can't handle your vulnerability, it's heartbreaking to you. At least to me, it's
yeah.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And as a male, we tend to go right back to that old frame of thinking, which is called I shouldn't have said nothing in the
Should
first
have said.
place.
Yeah. 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 And also too, I think, because like everything you just said sounds great, right? In theory. But when you're like in moments
Mm-hmm.
and you're trying to communicate, because sometimes there's a lot of emotions behind it,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't build up the courage to do all that. If I gotta be thinking about the responsibility, landed this and that, it's like I will also be like, well, I'm not gonna say anything. Like if I gotta think too much in my wording and how I'm saying it,
Yeah.
it becomes very frustrating.
Yeah.
Like I just
Yeah.
want to say it. Can I just
Yeah.
say it?
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, especially if I done been with you a long time, like you should know me. You should know like my intent towards you. Like
Yeah.
I feel like you they go that should and shouldn't. I feel like you should know that I'm not a malicious person. And for you to feel like what I'm doing is malicious, now I'm mad. Cause now I'm taking what you're saying very personally. It's a whole just crazy thing. And it's just like like what you mean you malicious? I attacked you. Like, why would I attack you? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's and I get like stuck in it. I'm just being honest about my thought process,
yeah,
and but then again that causes me again, like you said, and my mind is like, I ain't gonna say nothing because I'm trying to share. But then on the other side of that, if you love and care somebody and you're with them, it's like, well, how can we not say anything? It's like,
yeah.
again, how do we also give the people we choose to be in our lives the benefit of the doubt too? Because sometimes a lot of this is a conversation I had. We can assume and guess maybe, but we may be way off in terms of how they receive what we're saying because we're
Yeah.
not giving them the space or opportunity to maybe have changed from the last time I shared something to now, and giving them the benefit of the doubt as a person who say they love you.
I think the benefit of the doubt is a concept that is extremely underrated, extremely ignored by the
Yeah.
masses. Now, I have no data to support that. However, I know that if I listen, I'm gonna keep it real basic. I give you a call, you don't answer, and we had an argument the day before.
Oof.
So we have an argument the day before. I call you, you don't answer. Now, automatically, now let me just tell you, because you don't know this about me, or you may know this about me, but in truth, um, silence was weaponized against me in my youth. And so
Mm.
when there's a argument or a tough conversation, and then it's followed by silence, I
Mm.
have to work extra hard to make that silence not be personal because it was used as a form of attack against me back in the day. So,
Yeah.
um, and I may even preface it like, "Hey, are we good? Because it's like I called, you didn't answer. If I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, if I'm actively giving you the benefit of the doubt, then that means that I am saying like, well, maybe she's busy, maybe she's sleeping, maybe her phone's not charged, maybe the ringer is off, maybe the phone is in one room and she's in another. Like, there's so many
So many.
possibilities when I give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But if I don't do that, if I'm not present to giving you the benefit of the doubt, when you don't answer the phone, I'm thinking you still salty
On
about
site.
yesterday's conversation. And this is
Yeah.
why I feel giving someone the benefit of the doubt is vastly underrated and underused because a lot of times it is those other things I mentioned and is not. Unless we have a pattern, right? Like if you have a pattern of ignoring my calls after we've had an argument, that's one thing. But if this is
Yeah.
like a rare occurrence that we had an argument, we may have resolved it, we may not have resolved it, but when I call you, you don't answer, I need to give you the benefit of the doubt. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
way it opens up all these other possibilities and keeps me from getting salty right back
And crashing out.
and crashing out.
I feel like I give people the benefit of the doubt daily. And again, guys, we're not just talking about intimate relationship. We're talking about all relationships,
Thank you.
whether they're from familiar relationship, our family members, our co-workers, our
Platonic.
colleagues, platonic, our employees, intimate relationships. All of these relationships require, because there's connection, and when there's connection, there has to be a level of effective communication
Yeah.
for these relationships to work and continue to thrive again in peace, harmony, and understanding, especially when you have to, I don't say have to, but you know what I mean, when you have to deal when you have to deal with people. And I know for me, again, just being honest about myself is, again, I'm an avoider. I don't like conflict.
Yep.
And so I just try to be, but that's like a trauma response.
Right.
Growing up, when I watched my mom and my stepdad and they would fight and argue, and I'd be like, well, how do I keep everybody happy? Like,
Hmm.
how do we not
Now all of a sudden this is
like
your responsibility, and it never was your responsibility, but all of a sudden you're taking it on. Yeah,
I'm taking it on.
yeah,
And so I was like, I don't like to see people arguing and fighting. So I try to like keep the peace, but also avoid certain things, but at my expense most times
yeah,
is happening at my expense. And so I also understand that I'm a processor. So if someone says something to me, whether I like it, don't like it, benefit of doubt or no benefit of doubt, I really go in my head
yeah,
and I just try to understand. But on the outside looking in, that may look like I'm ignoring you or I'm silent or I'm not giving validity to what you're saying. But in my mind, I'm really like trying to process and understand
yeah.
and go and try. But
Because that's how
again,
our
it's a
worlds work.
process for me. It's not like instant. Like, oh yeah, I understand. Oh no,
Right.
I need to figure out what this is.
But that's also how I think your brain and my brain work, where we have to understand what's happening
Yeah,
around us in order for us to exist in our own worlds.
yeah,
This is why I study human behavior so much,
yeah,
because I feel like if I understand the behavior, I understand what's behind the behavior, and I can speak to that.
yeah.
It's not true, but this is just how my brain works. It's that, if I can figure
Hmm.
out the right combination to the person that's in front of me, then I can bypass all the bull and just talk
Yeah,
to the heart and the soul of the person.
yeah. Yeah, and like and that's why I like because I'm single. I know you're married. I'm single, but and I've been married before, but just in my single journey of meeting people, it's I'm looking at the character of the person,
Mhm.
honestly, because all the other things can come and go. I feel like character is one thing that is pretty consistent over time. I feel like it's one of those principles that your character of who you are is the solid foundation. Everything else ebbs, flows, come and go. But I feel like the character of a person is fundamentally who they are. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like what I'm looking at when I'm interacting with other people or someone that I want to say I want to build a life with or have a life partner with is the character. Because I could think about Sapphire at 20, Sapphire at 30, Sapphire
Yeah.
at 40. These are very different people.
Yeah. And this is also one of the challenges of being in a relationship of any kind, is that if I expect you to be the way you are right now in 2025, and we've been in a relationship for 10 years, now it's a problem because you're not that person no more.
You're
I don't
not
even
that
know
person
who
I
you
fell
are.
in love with. It's
I don't know who
you've
you are.
changed.
You've changed. I
You
don't know
damn
who
right.
you are.
You
I
damn
better
right I
change.
changed. What you mean?
I better change.
Like, don't lock me in. You know how long a generation is?
Is it 10 years or is it
It's
no?
20 years.
It's 20 years for a generation. Okay.
A whole generation is 20 years. So if you don't spend 20 plus years with somebody, that's a generation.
Yeah.
That's like a whole generation.
Yeah.
How and honestly, I actually if I'm around someone, especially with me moving back home, because people have a tendency to hold you to what they know you to be.
Yes.
And if you don't show up as that,
It's a problem.
then it's a problem for them.
Yeah.
But the reality is, I can't let you hold me to that because I'm not that anymore.
Yeah.
So then it becomes, well, okay, that doesn't need to, you're not, I don't want you to be in my space. But that's difficult too, especially with relationships when it's time to be like, well, have I outgrown this
Yeah.
person or whatever the case may be? And it's time to walk away. And knowing when to do that, when not to do that, when again, benefit of the doubt, communicating,
Yeah.
saying, hey, and I feel like you can still people can clearly see you, but they don't see you. Like, how can you not see me? How can you not see I'm not the same person from 20 years
You know
ago?
what?
Like, be for real.
I need a couch.
Come
under the
on.
couch.
I ain't got my pen and paper today.
I think we both need a
Like,
couch because, like, the way you're talking, I feel like we
we
both
need
need to
it.
be
Yes.
together on the
On
couch
the couch.
with someone else in the room with a pad and pen. Okay, like just today. Okay, because and
Yeah.
you are also like navigating this dating journey, and you took me along for the ride. Gang, let me tell you, Sapphire will not hesitate to take me on a ride with her, whatever the journey is. They're all fun, though. They're all fun, and I appreciate it. And even though I didn't ask for it,
and he doesn't have a choice because he's in the little sidecar
my car.
and he can't control. And I'm like,
I'm just sitting here in the car. I'm either sitting here laid back
holding
or
on,
sitting here like,
like, get me the hell about this car.
but I can't
But you're going
because you're
100
going too
miles.
fast.
You're going too fast. I can't even get out. Now I gotta go. All right, where we going? Shit.
You know what? I don't know if this episode is for them. I think it's for us.
It's for us.
I think
It's
this
for
episode is
us.
for us.
But when everybody wins, be more raw.
Everybody wins.
Everybody
So,
wins.
God, there's so much that you said in that last part. So much. And it's like, I feel like this conversation is like a tree. There's just branches all over the place for the different things that we're talking about. And it's, but I guess at the root of it all, as you said, it is communication. But I think also there is this intention behind the communication that is also as important. And if we can focus on what the person's intention is when they're communicating, I think that that can lead to less tense moments. That's just a theory, though. I don't know if it's true or false.
How do we evaluate someone's intention? How
Giving
do
them the
we
benefit of doubt.
and I think that comes from knowing the person too, because if you don't
Right.
know a person,
How can you know the intention, right?
how can you
Right.
know their intention?
Right.
And relationships have to start somewhere.
All
There
right.
may be 20 years, but there was a day one at some point.
People really are like onions, right? You talked about the character.
Not
They're
you
like
take me to
onions.
Shrek.
Because you talked about the
I thought about
character. And you want to get to know the character of the person.
yeah.
But how do you find out the character of the person? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the first person you meet is their representative. That's the first person you're meeting is that person's representative. Some people will say, "Oh no, when they meet me, this is me. This look here, boo.
I was about to say that too.
Look
But
here.
I paused because I was like, no. Because you're just seeing me. I'm feeling good. I'm looking like you are getting a version of me that's a real version of me, but you're
But
not
it's
getting the
your
version of me
best
that
projected version of what you think is your best projected version of yourself
in that moment too. Because
in
moment
that
by
moment.
moment,
Yes.
circumstance by circumstance, because if something pop off, now you about to see another side real
Whole
quick.
nother side. Whole
Another
nother side.
side.
I remember
Yeah.
my ex-wife and I were at a Wendy's in Woodbridge Mall in New Jersey, and she ordered something, but what she ordered has so many customizations that it really was a whole different. It fell under the category of a different sandwich with a different price, and she is now arguing with the cashier. The cashier is right. Okay, just so you know, the cashier is right in this case that you didn't order this, you ordered that. And she's over there like, no, I ordered that with this on it, and this taken off. Okay, that what you just said is that sandwich over there.
Is that
That's what that sandwich is. But she wanted it at the cheaper price,
wow.
and it was caused a whole thing,
Ruckus.
a whole ruckus. And I'm sitting there witnessing this, and I'm like, I just want to leave. I just don't want to. I don't want to be a part of this. And that was a side that I had not really seen before.
Mm.
And that's what
How
you're talking
far
about.
in the relationship?
How far in the marriage were we?
Oh, you already married when this
This
happened.
was she was my wife at this point. This is my ex-wife.
And you were completely surprised?
I was surprised at the fact that she was willing to do that in public. Like
So, but you had seen the behavior before.
I hadn't seen that particular behavior. Like as far as, I mean, sure, I've seen her be right before about something that she's wrong about, but it was like, see, I have this thing about, is it worth it? Is it worth getting into an altercation with this person over, like I don't understand some of the emotions that people exhibit when they're dealing with the retail space. Like you're never gonna see that person again, most likely, unless you
Yeah.
frequent that
Yeah.
establishment, right? And so I don't understand getting all riled up about something so minuscule.
Yeah.
Like I want
It
to get
seems
riled
like
up about the
something
things that are really important.
that mattered. Well, to you.
Yeah, that matter to me. But in those
Right. Because
moments,
somebody else.
it's like,
That probably
and
mattered.
the other thing is like, it's Wendy's, okay? It's Wendy's. It's not a white tablecloth restaurant where you're spending, over $100 for two people. It's not that. I might get salty if my service is jacked up and I'm spending that level of cash. But this is
Yeah.
Wendy's. And you trying to make a 99-cent burger be a $6.25 burger.
Ooh. Were you surprised though? Were you surprised?
In that moment, I don't know if I was
In that,
surprised as more
oh, just
appalled.
embarrassed.
Embarrassed and
Okay.
appalled. Embarrassed and appalled. And so I mean, obviously her and I had a whole bunch of like deeper issues, which is why we're not married now.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think about that a lot. Not that moment, but I think about, why do we let certain things like really get under our skin? And these are the things that don't really matter. And then when your partner tries to have a conversation about it, now we at odds because you feel like
Yeah.
I should
External
be on.
things.
It's like, it's almost as if in certain relationships they just expect 100% compliance.
Mm.
And I'm not going to be compliant in your BS.
Mm. Yeah. It has to be checked.
Yeah. And then when I tell you about your BS,
Mm-hmm.
now we got a whole issue going on because of that. And like, it's just not worth it, and
Yeah.
like, even here, let me tell you what, when Patrice and I don't argue very much at all, but when we do,
Y'all go there.
the kids leave. They like, one time they went out the back door. Wham! You just hear the door close because they are gone. Not gone like that door did not slam because they were angry. That door slammed because it's like, remember in The
In a
Color
hurry.
Purple when it was about to go down at the juke joint and the guy packed up his piano, he's like, boop boop, time to go.
Oh.
When my kids leave because it's about to go down at the juke joint and they don't want to be around when it goes down. That's what that slamming of the door was. I'm out.
Yeah, yeah,
They, and like I said, it doesn't happen very often. And
yeah.
maybe they're surprised because this is like, it just comes out of the blue. It's
Well, maybe seemingly, but
for them.
maybe
Yeah.
that's because, yeah, maybe more conversations need to be had up until the point where it's like, oh, it's really about to pop off.
Yeah.
But maybe like conversations leading up to that, because it's like navigating that, right?
It's
Because,
usually an event, though. It's usually something that's happened in the moment
yeah,
that leads to this whole
yeah,
thing. It's not like a but. Sure, you're right in regards to there probably should be some conversations in between those incidents,
right.
so that way this incident
Not
is not
intense.
as intense as this one was, right? But I'm gonna be honest. Be honest. Like I try to come across as this really transformed dude, but I am as regular as they come. Like stuff be happening. You know,
Yeah.
I know that. I mean, I don't. Maybe we're the only podcasters that acknowledge the craziness that happens when we're off camera.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but it's
I think it's important to keep it real because, Kurt, we call him Curtis or Kurt. I forget his
I think
name.
Kurt.
Kurt, yeah. Kurt come out. I got a side of me. I think that's a very real human thing. And again, giving people space, because even sometimes if you see your significant other or somebody relationship just go left and you're like, where that came from, it's like, you know what, let them wild out. Like, just go ahead, get it off your chest, say it with your chest, get it off your chest,
Yeah,
because maybe, who knows, you needed that. Because again, we're being representatives.
yeah.
Portions of us, we're always trying to show up as our best self, but sometimes our lower self want to come out. They want to pop out and show Negroes.
I I very rarely let that side of me come out because it's explosive. It's very explosive. And like I'm that dude that has this like really long fuse. Like that fuse goes around the building. But it
Like
just
the dynamite, and it goes
right. It just goes din 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 din
dun,
din
dun,
din,
dun,
din right from
dun,
the whole
dun,
Mission
dun.
Impossible that long. Yeah. Yeah. And but once that fuse makes it to the powder keg, boom.
Yeah,
And I don't like that. I don't like being that way. With this why the fuse is so freaking long. There's so many opportunities to cut it off.
yeah, yeah. I feel you on that. It's definitely like, because we try so hard. Like I said, we're transforming, we're healing, and it's like, I've arrived, and you like, nope. It's like giving ourselves grace. And we talked about this before, when, you're on this journey and you thinking, like you said, there's still a little piece of that,
Yeah.
whatever that was,
Yeah.
that still lingers in space and opportunity. It will come out.
Yeah.
And guys, here at Social Sessions, we're all about having these conversations with communication, because I feel like this should be a part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, we're
Yeah.
talking about communication in relationships, and how there's going to be an evolution, and how do you navigate that. And so we're solution oriented people, and it's like, okay, what are some tools that maybe we can offer from our experience, or just something we've learned, to help people to be able to have understanding, how to have effective communication with their significant others or the people they love. And then maybe part 2 would be, okay, communication and relationships at work, communication relationships platonic, communication relationships,
I don't
as
even
an
know.
entrepreneur.
I don't even know if we've made it to the part where we can even segment it off yet. Because part 2 may just be the continuation of this conversation that we're having.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I feel you. Yeah.
but if I were to say or offer up not so much a tool, but just a way of being, as much as I don't want to say this, And as much as I struggle with this of my own, I do believe that showing courage, because remember, for me, courage and bravery are two totally different things. You know, bravery is that type of thing where it's like the kid is in the street, you're going to risk your body to save that kid no matter what anyway. That's because it's just an automatic. But with courage, you can choose. I can choose to show up, or I can choose
Yeah.
to say, you know what, never mind, not today, you know, or not in this moment, right? I can choose
Yeah.
when I'm going to be courageous. And I think that continuing to choose to be courageous in those tough conversations, I
Mm.
think over time does make a difference. Choosing to be vulnerable with the ones that you can be vulnerable with, because you can't be vulnerable with everybody, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
choosing to be vulnerable with the ones that you can be vulnerable with, no matter what that looks like or sounds like, but actively, consistently choosing that. I just believe that over time, not only does it make a difference, I think that people will have a different level of respect for you because
yeah.
you chose to show up and let yourself be seen as opposed to fitting in or hiding out.
Mm.
And the reason why I say that, even for me, like I don't even really want to say it, is because one, now I got to be accountable for that, right? To continue to be courageous and continue to show up. Um, but also, I'm just, there are so many times where I would just rather have just been like, no, I should have said nothing at all. And then I have been that way where it's like, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing at all because I already know how this conversation is going to go if I say something. And so, choosing to not do that is
Yeah.
very challenging. So, I still believe, though, that when we show up, we let ourselves be seen, we don't shrink down, which when I say shrink down, like fitting in, you know, we don't shrink down. We don't like puff ourselves up and try to, you know, have our representative be more than what it is, but just
Yeah.
show up, be courageous, own your own conversation and own your own feelings and say what there is to say without trying to do any harm to others. I believe that over time that works, but it feels like hell sometimes when you're in it.
Yeah. And I'm just well said, first of all.
Thank you.
Choosing to be courageous. And I would like to add to that, and it's probably the same thing that you're saying, is knowing yourself. Because I feel like a lot of us are in spaces and connecting, but we don't even know who we are.
Yeah.
And I do believe doing that self work to know who you are so you can also show up your authentic, genuine self. Because I think when you have a full understanding of yourself, it leaves space for compassion. It leaves space to be considerate of other people because you know what it feels like to have compassion and
Yeah.
consideration
Yeah.
and grace. I'm always saying extend grace
Yeah.
for yourself, but also the people you say you love,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I can't own their response. What I can own is that how I'm delivering, I'm coming with compassion, I'm coming with grace, I'm coming with consideration. I can own that, but that also starts with the self-work in myself to be able to present something to someone that I love in a way that is like, this is my authentic, genuine self. And
Yeah.
but I can put myself in that person's shoes at the
Yeah.
same time
Yeah.
to be able to deliver it and package it in such a way. Because at the end of the day, what is communication? Communication is me speaking for someone to understand what I'm saying. But if I'm not speaking or communicating in a way that they understand, am I effectively communicating? If I remove the ego and say, well, I said this, and that, but if that's not how that person communicates that you're speaking to, what good is it? Like,
Or maybe it
how
didn't land the
effective?
way you thought it landed.
Right. And so that's where the understanding comes from. It's like, okay, because we talk, in relationships, they talk about the five love languages. And so, and that's to help you with communication, because how does that person receive love? How do they receive whatever it is you try and understand? Because I can say, well, I'm a quality time person, but the person may be, something else, words of kindness or whatever. But if I know that's how they receive and communicate,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to be considerate and communicate that way, because that is their understanding.
Yeah. You know, God, it's so freaking much. So much.
That's why I said it's going to be I think we have like 5 episodes left in this season. I think it's a great way to go out in the season with this continuing this dialogue
Yeah.
of
Because we're not
communication,
gonna
because I
get it
think
all
it's
out in this one. We just can't. There's
no.
just too much to say
Yeah.
in order to get it all out
Yes.
here. But
And we're gonna get the spicy talk too.
at the
I'm
season
determined.
finale, on the season finale, we gonna do the spicy talk.
How you tell your significant other I want to get choked without getting judged? There's your bumper right there.
Blood flow.
That's your pineapples. Pineapples. We need a safe word. We need pineapples.
I love that no
And
one
maybe
else.
that's too like I like creating a safe word too. Like if you coming, because you may have them amped yourself up to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tell her or him, I'm gonna communicate. But maybe they're not even in a space. So maybe it's like having a safe word, like, oh, I'm not ready, but giving them space to get ready. So having a safe word to be like, just not right now. But to kind of, because I feel like sometimes we sideswipe people. We don't even give them like a lead into. We just be like, well, I'm ready. But you had time to get ready.
You had time to get
Your
ready.
person, your person is like, what is happening?
What's happening here? Like you just blindsided me with this. Right? We was talking about dinner, now all of a sudden we talking about choking. Like what happened?
Baby step that thing. What?
At least preface it with, hey, there's something I want to talk about, and it's a little dicey. It
It's a
might even be
little
a little
dicey.
taboo. Right? Although,
Listen,
in
I
2025,
had
choking
a
probably is not a big thing anymore.
what is it?
I said choking probably not a big thing anymore in 2025. Like it's probably
Well, I'm just saying that lightly. I'm just saying that's
because there's other things.
I
Right?
guess
There's other
there's
things
other things where we gonna say
that are
choking, because
far
y'all
more
know what
intense
that
than choking. That it's like, how do you tell your partner that?
you want to get choked, but you can fill in the blank, right?
Right.
How do you tell your partner I want to, and you fill in the blank? I'm just gonna use choking to let you know what direction we're going in,
You do
but
realize that if anybody that you're dating sees this episode,
I like to be choked. I'm just gonna tell you that. We're gonna put that on national TV. That's probably as intense as it's going to get. So I feel like that's light compared to like what people can do. I feel like a light choke is nothing. But you'll be amazed. I've had people look at me sideways when I say that. I'll be like, choking? That's crazy. A light choke? Like that shouldn't be. Listen,
I
I I will say I did have a relationship in because of a conversation that I was having,
yeah, you let that full Gemini
and
out in that conversation, and they weren't ready.
they weren't ready. And the crazy thing is, I wasn't even talking about doing anything. I just like, oh, this seems fascinating.
Yeah,
It was just a conversation,
yeah.
and the way that spiraled,
You
and I'm
also,
looking like that is wild right now. I'm just talking.
you and I have a curiosity thing. Like we can be very curious about a
Yeah.
wide
Things.
variety of different things, right? And so,
Right.
however, if we express that curiosity about certain things, I can see how someone might be looking like I can see how I could garner that kind of look. For me, for me. But you, madam, are like a full flying Gemini, right? And you know that I did not give credence to horoscope signs until I met you. And the more I learn about these different things, the more I know. And I can't
And you
believe
discovered that is in you too.
I did discover that that
You
is in
got a
me
lot of
too.
Gemini all up in there.
Yeah, it's just swimming all up in it. That's probably the source of my curiosity. Probably, it's probably where it comes from. And there are certain things that we might be curious about that the public ain't ready to deal with us about that level of curiosity.
And the reality is, we may never even want to act on it. We're just curious. We're just like, oh, I wonder.
I wonder.
But in real life, I may just be like, oh, no, I would never do it. But I do wonder
Yeah,
because that's human behavior.
yeah,
That's ultimately where my curiosity comes from.
yeah.
Is I love to understand why people do
What they do.
what they do. That's
Yeah,
why I'm obsessed with cold case files that I have to like make myself not watch because I'm just like, but
and they have
it
no
does something to my
resolution, right?
soul.
They're cold cases, so they don't always have a resolution.
And sometimes, are those documentaries like I can get locked in, but I have to be like, no. But it is really tied to understanding why or trying to understand why people do what they do. That's where
Yeah,
my curiosity stems from. Just kind of bringing it full circle with
yeah,
understanding human behavior.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And in
Yeah.
the process of understanding others, that also gives us the freedom to understand ourselves.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's why we have a plethora of communities.
Yeah,
People find places where they can have safe spaces to have conversations, even if it may not be with the people that they want to have the conversations with.
because there's
But at
people
least
that
they
you
can get
want
it
to have.
out.
There's some people you want to have conversations with, and it's just like, yeah, but that conversation is not gonna go
That ain't
well
good.
if I try to have it with that
Yeah.
person. You deeply
Yeah.
want to, but it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
So
But at least have, if you can't have that, have a safe space where you can get it out so it doesn't create resentment.
yeah,
Yeah.
Sapphire, this was unfinished business. This is we are ending this
Part one.
episode unfinished.
Yes. Part one. Part one. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share this channel if you want a soul shift. If you want to talk about, you know what, this is a safe space. If you want to talk about something that you can't talk about where you want to talk about it, just come
Right,
here.
right. Send us an email.
This is
Send us
Send
an
us an
email.
email.
Yeah. Soul
Soul
shift
shift
session
sessions at Gmail.
gmail.com. Send us an email, especially if you don't want it to be like public knowledge, right? Like you have a,
Anonymous.
yeah, you want to remain anonymous. You want to add to the conversation. You want to ask a question about the conversation. You want to ask a how to. We don't necessarily have the answer on the how to part. Some of us are still figuring that shit out.
Yeah, exactly. But if you go to our website, you can send us an email. Matter of fact, just email us your questions. And the next
Yeah.
episode, depending on the questions that we get, we're gonna answer these questions around communication and relationships and
Ooh, a
change.
question and answer session.
I love it. I love that for us.
I love that for us too. Gang, ask the questions. I can't guarantee we'll have the answer, but we sure will talk.
Absolutely. We will definitely have the conversation. Any final words, Coach Sidekick?
Coach Sidekick. Yes, I do have something. I saw this quote today and I was like, oh, that is actually pretty good. And so the quote is, how people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours.
Well said. Well said. And with that, guys, always remember to let your soul glow.
So long,
Until next
everyone.
time.
Man.